And now we want to welcome Shawnee County Commissioner Kevin Cook this morning. He's joining us to give us a little bit of a breakdown because, Kevin, I tell you what, there's a lot going into these. We talk about the state's plan, then there's the county's plan. So from your perspective, what is the big thing folks here in Shawnee County need to know about today as we go into reopening?
I think the biggest thing, Brooke, is as we start the reopening, we still need to exercise social distancing. Just because the stores and restaurants are opening back up, we still need to take precautions. You still need to make sure you have that social distancing. A lot of this plan is premised on the idea that our numbers will stay where they're at or continue to go down. If we see a spike in Shawnee County, our Shawnee County response is that we will restrict those things and go back. So we don't want any backwards movement at this point.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing to, hopefully avoid as we move forward. Now, one thing I know a lot of folks, it's kind of been the blessing in all this. We've been able to get some things done, construction things. I know Stormont Vale Event Center, their kind of, their parking lot area, that's all now completed and good to go. Is that right?
The Stormont Vale Center parking lot is complete. That was long overdue. The parking lot looks great. We're still working on the inside so that when we get through this, we will have essentially a brand new facility ready to unveil and display for Shawnee County, and it'll last another 30 years. And so we're very excited about the progress. I mean, if that is the only upside of the virus, is that we've been able to get a lot of construction work done without having to work through other events that were occurring at the same time.
Yeah, kind of like the blessing in disguise I think a lot of us didn't expect. Now, a lot of folks have been asking, when is the DMV annex going to be reopening? People are driving around with expired tags, the 60-day plates. When can they expect to get back in there and get that all taken care of?
Sure. So the Treasurer's Office is still working on opening up their plan. I think that we'll see that rolled out here later today or early this week on how they can get out to get their tags renewed. Also remember the driver's licenses go through the state Department of Motor Vehicles, and so they may have their own rules and regulations, but I know that Treasurer Ma is working to make sure that we have all of those things up and ready. Public service is always a highlight of his office.
Oh yeah, you better believe it. Hey, and I got a lot of people Facebook me all the time. They want to know, can I take my kiddos to the pool this summer, or is that stuff going to be allowed? What's the latest on that?
At this point, we're still looking at a possible Memorial Day opening, but I think that, again, we have to make sure that we have a lot of cautions in place. We have to make sure we have a lot of those plans in place. Safety for our citizens, safety for our patrons is always a highlight, and that is the highest point for all of Shawnee County, is to make sure that we're doing this safely. Just like we're looking at organized sports and baseball and softball and everything else, we're still looking to see how we can have some seasons, but do it safely.
Absolutely, that's the key here. Now, Kevin, last question here, kind of a funny one. A lot of folks going out home, having their spouses, do the corona cuts. Have you had to bust out the trimmer or anything like that quite yet?
I don't have a full head of hair, but still my family has helped me out a little bit here. My wife did help me with cutting the hair, and so we're holding up as best we can, but I'm ready for a barbershop to be open just like everyone else.
Oh, you better believe it. I almost took my husband's ear off last night, so we're not talking right now, but hopefully by tonight.
Careful.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us here this morning. I really appreciate it. Hey.